The year is 2023 and film is bigger than it's ever been. Well, not quite, but it's way bigger than it should be considering the tech we have at our disposal. This isn't a video about film, rather it's about film emulation. The film look, the colors, the grains, the unique imperfection and characteristics that shooting film brings to photos and videos. In 2023, it seems like every creator is trying to give a stylized look to create a vibe and make you feel some nostalgia. But when you're shooting with film, especially in video, film brings along a whole lot of inconveniences that a lot of people just don't factor in. And this is one of the reasons why Fuji cameras with built-in film emulation have become so popular. The reason we're talking about film emulation today is a company called Dehancer reached out to me to see if I'd like to try out their plugin, and Dehancer is just film emulation for video. This is not a sponsored video, nor have I been paid. However, Dehancer did provide me with a license to the software and an affiliate discount code for you guys if anyone would like to purchase their products. When Dehancer reached out, they specifically said they wanted an honest review so they could help make their product better. I think this is absolutely awesome because I will always give an honest opinion, as for me, integrity is absolutely paramount. However, I do get contacted by a lot of companies who I say no to working with who don't have this same approach. So Dehancer, I gotta applaud you for that. This is not going to be a tutorial. This is not going to be a step-by-step process showing you how to use Dehancer. Rather, it's going to be a video showing what you can achieve with Dehancer and ultimately if this is worth your time and money. Now, speaking of money, the Dehancer Lite plugin, which won't come with the full suite of tools, will run you $200 American, and the Pro plugin, which I'll be using today, will run you $400 American, which I personally think is a little bit extortionate. So how's that for honesty? Now, one thing to note, I'm not massive on the whole film and film emulation sort of thing, so you do need to make up your own mind to see if you think it's worth it. It gives you quite a few tools to tweak your image and dial that look you're chasing. I'd consider Dehancer a little bit more of a look plugin rather than a color grading plugin. If you're looking for color grading, Color Finale Pro is probably going to be the play. A feature I love about Dehancer is the ability to convert your camera's log footage into Rec 709 with the built-in camera profiles. This essentially will apply a conversion LUT and then you can start your grade from there. Also, when you get to the end of your edit, if you find a look that you really like, you can export it as a LUT, which I absolutely love to do because sometimes I find a look I like and then I just reuse it over and over again. For someone looking at Dehancer, I think there's 4 main features they're probably going to be keen on. 2 of those are going to be bloom and halation. Now, this is something that's ever so popular in the physical at the moment with mist filters and glimmer glass, etc. But the downside of actually using a solid filter on your lens like I am right now means that that look is baked into your file.
What?
So if you ever want to use that file again and you don't want the mist on, you cannot get rid of it. Whereas doing this in post means that if you want to dial it down, you want to put it back up a bit, or you just want to scrap it all together, you can do that. So having control over the bloom and the halations is something I do really like. This is a feature I think you should use a little bit subtly, but when you use it well, it looks really nice. Adding film grain will no doubt be popular with any Gen Z wannabe travel influencer, but just don't do it. Leave film grain out of the shot. I know it's a big part of the app, but what you've got to understand is what are you creating and where is it going? If you're going to be uploading to YouTube, well, YouTube's compression just isn't that good, and if you add noise, it's just going to turn your video to mush. I totally understand that the vibe and the look of the grain can look good, but just keep in mind where you're uploading. That master file on your screen might look beautiful, but then you upload it and it's not so good. If you're uploading to Vimeo, their compression is going to be better than YouTube, so just keep that in mind. So I'm personally not huge on the idea of degrading a whole image by burning in some film grain. However, I do use this pack that I bought from YCImaging a fair bit. These overlays just give a little bit of a flash, a little bit of a vibe without degrading the whole image. So I'd avoid adding film grain personally. I think you can still get that vibe, that nostalgia that you're going for with colors, blooms, and halations. Film grain is going to be a completely don't bother for me, but remember, it's a personal opinion and some opinions just happen to be right. But by far the most popular aspect of Dehancer is going to be the film emulation itself. There's 63 different film stocks that I've scanned and made color profiles for. I'm going to call these LUTs. There's a drop down box, you scroll down, you choose your color profile, and it applies a look. To me, that's a LUT, so I'm going to call them LUTs. I'm sure Dehancer and a lot of other people would argue the value of this product is found in the 60 plus LUTs and the tools to tweak your image. When you consider a lot of creators sell a 10-pack of LUTs for about 50 bucks, you could argue the value is in this plugin. However, I still personally think it should sit around that $149 to $199 mark. But then again, like I said, film isn't really my thing. I know it might sound a little bit negative and like I won't use this plugin again, but I absolutely will. just to me, it just comes down to the price, and it's not cheap. There is a lot that I do like about this plugin, like the blooms, the halations, but ultimately it's the overall thing. It's how you can make the image look, and that's good because that is this plugin's main purpose. You can create a whole lot of unique looks to give your scene that vibe or that feel that you're going for. Video and cinematography has these really unique aspects that you can paint a scene a million different ways, and this could be from the color grade to the exposure, the angle, or the sound effects chosen in each shot. You can have 3 identical scenes given 3 completely different color grades, which makes the viewer experience something just a little bit different each time. Dehancer is ultimately a tool to allow you to tell your story in different ways. Whether you want to give your viewer a little bit of nostalgia, just create a funky vibe, or take away some of that clinical sharpness that today's digital lenses can have, Dehancer is definitely going to be a good tool to help you do that. You just need to weigh up if $400 is worth it for you. But that is not to say that Dehancer is without a few pain points and things that I'd like to see fixed in future updates. The first pain point is it is super sluggish and very intensive on your computer. I've got a spec'd out M1 Max 16-inch MacBook Pro. It's a beast and it really struggles. As soon as this effect is applied, you will not get smooth playback anymore. So keep that in mind. If you've ever used something like Neat Video, it's a very, very similar effect. It must be rendered out to really get a smooth playback, and I would only use this as a finishing maneuver. Finish him. The second one, I'd like to see a little bit more color grading capabilities built in, kind of like Color Finale, log wheels, curves, things like that. I think if you incorporated proper grading with film emulation, I'd start to see where the value in this plugin really lies for that $400 that they're asking. The UI needs a little bit of work. It's just left, right sliders and drop downs. Now, there's not anything necessarily wrong with this, but I think for a color grading tool, to have a separate pop-out window that gives you a little bit more fine tuning of each of these tools would be a very handy addition. It would also be nice that instead of having a drop-down menu when we go to apply a film emulation to our shot, it'd be nice to have a bit of like a LUT Loader, like a preview window so we can see what they all look like, so you don't have to remember them by name. Kind of like Mlut, which I've found to be the best LUT Loader. I think that still needs some work, but it's kind of something to work from. The final one is, because this is essentially film emulation, it'd be nice to have some preloaded film mats, film burns, dust, scratches, all those sort of overlays that really help sell that whole film vibe. I personally have a bunch from YCImaging and Tropicolor. I absolutely love them. I do use them regularly, but for the price of this plugin, it would be cool to see this come with a few preloaded ones to use. I'm not trying to tell you to buy this plugin or not to buy this plugin. I just want to explain to you my opinions, how I see this plugin, and how I personally would or wouldn't use this plugin going forward. Because I have the plugin, I'll absolutely use it going forward. How much? Well, that remains to be seen. All I do know is if I personally was paying $400 American for this plugin, I'd really struggle, and I probably wouldn't, to be straight up. If I had $400 to spend on digital assets to help my post-production, this is what I'd do. I'd spend $150 on Color Finale. I'd spend $75 getting Neat Video for the best denoiser out there. Then I'd spend $50 on YCImaging's film aesthetics packs. I'd get some film mats from Tropicolor for about $20 to $30. Then I'd spend $50 getting Mark Bone's cinema camera LUTs. Then another $50 getting the Phantom LUTs. And then I'd get the Mlut add for free to apply all those LUTs. In my personal opinion, that is a more well-rounded way to spend $400 to help your post-production. You're going to get some really nice textures, some nice LUTs, and a really good color grading and denoising software. I'll have links to everything down in the description. Anything that's an affiliate link will let you know. But if you're a hipster and you like film and you like the vibe that this gives you, and you appreciate all the tools and the emulation it's going to give you, and you want to give that nostalgia, and you have the money, then I do not think you would be disappointed. I think ultimately, if you want to give the vibes and you've got the coin and you think this is going to be a good purchase, I do think that sort of customer will enjoy this product. And at the end of the day, this is just my opinions and this is what I think. Let me know down in the comments if you think about things a little bit differently, and if you do buy this plugin, make sure you use this code because that will save you a little bit of money. We're all just trying to get by. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. My name is Jed Dobre. Today is my 2-year wedding anniversary. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?